guys, welcome back. I am so excited to do another makeup tutorial for you guys, and this one is going to be inspired by Lemonade, and I'm talking about Beyonce. I'm not going to specifically do any look from her like special. I did want to do a lemonade inspired look, like using pink and gold, cause like pink lemonade and like yellow lemonade and stuff like that, and I figured like that's perfect summer makeup and everything, so I kind of wanted to do that for you guys. So I ran out of my favorite primer. My god, I ran out of this Smashbox primer. So I'm gonna use a little bit of Fix Plus by MAC, and I'm just spraying this on the face. I also use like a moisturizer. I really like the Tarte moisturizer, so sometimes I like to use a moisturizer instead of a primer. So if you ever run out of primer, that's a really good alternative. Does anybody ever do this? Like, you spray stuff and you leave your phone down and then it's like all schmutz all over your phone and you're like, okay. Alright, so I'm going to zoom you guys on in so we can get started with the toot. To prime the eyes, I'm going to be using Benefit's Air Patrol. I just love everything about this, like the tone of it, just everything is perfect. And then, of course, we're going to set it with some translucent powder. You can use pressed powder, like setting powder, you can use whatever kind of powder you want. So I am actually using the Morphe 35W palette, and I do have a discount code with Morphe. It's NICOL at the checkout in all caps, and that'll get you 10% off. And I'm going to be taking this really pretty orangey tone right in the center of the palette, and I'm going to be working that as a transition color, and I'm using my Morphe E27 brush to apply this. And then I'm actually going to be taking this like peachy tone and going right over that transition color to make it look a little bit more pink. And again, using the Morphe E27 brush, and I'm just going in windshield wiper motions, dragging it out to the inner corner and the outer corners of my eyes. And then I'm just taking a clean Morphe M513. There's nothing on the brush. I'm just kind of like further blending it out because sometimes you get a little bit too harsh when you're blending a little bit too intense. So you kind of need to blend it out. So that's just what I'm doing here, is kind of like diluting the color a little bit. And then I'm just taking this brown shade, which is a little bit darker, and I'm going to be working that up into the crease just a little bit lower. I'm not going to drag it into the inner corner as much. I'm going to be focusing it more on the outer corners of my eye, and I'm using the Morphe M513 again. So switching palettes, I'm going to be using the Vice Limited Edition Reloaded palette by Urban Decay. And I am taking the color Hot Pants, which is a really, really pretty pink color. And I'm just going to be applying that halfway onto the lid. So I'm going to be applying it from the outer corner to the halfway point of the eye. And I'm using the Dose of Colors concealer brush for this. I think that this brush is so bomb for packing on eyeshadow. And then I am taking the color Gold Mind, and I'm just going to fill in the tear ducts to the center where like the pink meets. And again, I'm using that same Dose of Colors brush. This Gold Mind Gold is like literally one of the most pigmented eyeshadows I have ever used. And now for winged liner, I'm taking the Tarte So Fine. This is their liquid to matte liner, and I love it. I feel like it cuts my wing time down in half. It's so easy to use. For lashes, I'm going to be using Iris Beauties. These are in the style Fearless. They are so beautiful and so 3D. I'm completely obsessed with them. And I'm going to be applying them with the Duo Eyelash Adhesive and then carefully applying it with a tweezer. So I'm going to pop on the other lash and zoom you guys on out so we can do the fudge. To brighten up my under eye, I am using the Becca Cosmetics concealer, and this is in the color Peach. And we're just going to put this directly under the eye, and I'm using my Morphe E20 brush for this. For foundation, I'm going to be a little fancy today. I am using the Dior Airflash, and this is in the color 300, or actually, it's the color 301, excuse me. And I'm using my Morphe M444 Kabuki I love this kabuki so much for applying foundation. I think it's like the best one that Morphe has. And I'm just going to spray the Airflash directly onto it. For concealer, I'm going to be using the new Morphe concealer, and this is in the color Oats. I think that this is so creamy and so beautiful, and I'm just going to apply it under my eyes, on my forehead, down the center of my nose, and on my chin. And for cream contour, I'm going to be taking the new Morphe concealer as well. This is in the color Toffee Nut, and I'm just going to be applying it to my cheeks, my nose, and my forehead. And then taking my damp beauty blender, I'm just going to blend this all out. Oh my god, these concealers blend so beautifully. Like, I'm barely touching my skin. Like, I'm touching it so lightly, and it blends it out amazing. And I would say it's more like full coverage concealer, which, girl, I want because these bags are real. Taking Laura Mercier translucent powder and the Morphe E48 brush, I am going to be setting my under eye. It's really important when you are using any type of concealer to set your under eye, because that's going to stop it from creasing or getting greasy or anything like that. And I really love this Laura Mercier powder, so I definitely recommend it. Taking MAC Give Me Sun and the Morphe M177 brush, I am just going to be bronzing up my cheeks. I love this brush, the Morphe one, to bronze up the cheeks. I feel like it just covers so much surface area and really makes it look like super contoured and stuff. I love it. So, to clean up that contour, I am using the Morphe M459 and that same Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I'm just kind of making a little line here, and we're going to sit and let that bake, as they say. And I'm going to do it to both sides. And then, I say this a lot, but I like to repeat myself just in case if people are new to my channel. I also bake my smile lines because I am super animated when I talk and I get like really bad creasing. So essentially when you're baking something, you are trying to get rid of that creasing, and this really, really helps me. Taking that same hot pants color and I'm taking my Morphe E43 and I'm just going to follow that same pattern, taking the pink halfway, and same with the gold. So yeah, just take your time with this. I know that some people, like, you know, your eyes tear, they might water, whatever it is, toots. Just take your time. And I am just popping on some of the Tarteist mascara to my bottom lashes. I love like how much it elongates them. Like, the difference is insane. So I love this mascara. Taking the Benefit Watts Up, I am just going to use my Morphe M512, and I'm just going to use this as a base for our highlight. I think that this is seriously one of the best cream highlighters I've ever used, and you can even leave it just like this, but guys, you know, I need to have that highlight shining to Mars, so we're going to put some powder over it, but I think that this is so awesome. For blush, I'm going to be using the color Dream, and this is a Tarte palette by Tarte, and I think it's like limited edition, like it's part of their summer collection, and I'm just using the Dose of Colors angled contour brush. For highlight, I'm taking the Skin Twinkle palette, also by Tarte, and this is the Morphe M310 fan brush, and I'm just going right over that cream highlight from Benefit. And it's really just going to make it pop so much, and it'll make the powder last a lot longer too. And taking my Too Faced Mr. Right brush, I'm just pressing that powder downwards. And yeah, we're just going to blend that in with our contour. For lips, I am using Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is in the color Soft Lilac, and I'm just going to apply it. I love this color so much. And this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this pink and yellow lemonade inspired tutorial. You guys are the best. You rock my world. And I will see you next time. Bye, guys.